500 coalitions applied for these grants.
The U.S. Economic Development Administration will invest approximately $73 million in the state of Oklahoma as part of its $1 billion Build Back Better challenge.
It's centered around a vision that as our economy recovers and modernizes, as science and technologies accelerate and change the nature of how we manufacture, we want workers and small businesses leading this transition.
The Oklahoma Biotech Innovation Cluster has been awarded $35 million to fund numerous job opportunities and expand Oklahoma City's scientific infrastructure.
And I think for us, it represents such a collaboration. So many partners were involved that really had come together to make this opportunity possible.
Jeff Seymour, Executive Vice President of Greater Oklahoma City Chambers, says the main focus of this grant will go towards the bioscience economy in Oklahoma City.
6 really good projects that all fit together to say, how can we start, grow, and help companies in the bioscience and biomanufacturing space stay here in Oklahoma and grow long term.
The 6 projects funded through the grant will include developing 10 research labs for drug discovery and biomanufacturing workforce training.
The grants will be written largely to impact the regional epicenter of what we're calling a biomanufacturing hub for the U.S. And so they are largely going to university institutions like the University of Oklahoma, Stevenson Cancer Center.
Ego Investment Capital managing partner Christian Kennedy says that the majority of drug manufacturing occurs in India and China. They want to make America a leading manufacturer.
And so what this grant will go to is not only to invent new drugs, but largely to manufacture them here on American soil.
Kennedy says they hope this will make the new industry in the state competitive.
This EDA grant will also help reskill and upskill existing jobs. So if there are situations where there could be a downturn in oil and gas like what we have experienced historically, you could have someone come out off of a rig and move into the lab.
In Northeast Oklahoma, federal funds will be used by the Tulsa Regional Advanced Mobility Corridor, also known as TRAM. The corridor has been awarded $38.2 million.
Big player like the federal government really saying and validating what we already knew to be true about Tulsa and what we can do here. There's really not a better opportunity that's ever been out there for this kind of validation, for this kind of momentum for our community.
The coalition will work on 4 main projects with the help of its multiple organization partnerships that will focus on research production and advanced mobility.
When you look at the scale of the grant and the true intent of this grant, it is to provide access to quality jobs for all Tulsans with a focus on really thinking about those who have not historically had access to quality opportunities and providing them the pathways for that.
Tulsa Port will use the grant to fund a wastewater treatment plant in the Port of Inola. The plant will treat over 4 million gallons of water per day.
That is intended to make approximately 2,200 acres of industrial property pad ready for to encourage industries that are part of advanced manufacturing to locate in the area.
Tulsa Port Chairman Dewey Bartlett Jr. says this will create jobs for those without college degrees.
Too many times we as a society have said in the past that you have to have a college degree to be a success, and that absolutely is not true. But it gives somebody a great opportunity to get a very, very good high-paying job, pays great benefits. But if something does happen to that job and that particular company, they can take that trade elsewhere.
Jennifer Hankins, the head of partnership for Tulsa Innovation, says the grant will help Tulsa prepare for the future economic opportunities.
A lot of that's anchored in how are we thinking about the workforce of the future, making sure that Tulsans have the skills that they need to succeed, not in an entirely new industry, but in the bedrock of the industries that already exist here. So you think about the future of aerospace is really critical to this, making sure that our mechanics and our MRO technologies are really matching up to where this industry is headed in the future.
One of the projects involves creating a launchpad research center at the Oklahoma State University Tulsa campus.
That will allow us to evaluate and test various advanced air mobility concepts, both drones and urban air mobility systems in the national airspace.
OSU will also work with the Osage Nation to create an advanced mobility flight corridor.
Being able to get the systems in and evaluate them in an urban setting, not just downtown, but flying over suburban regions, It really opens up new avenues.
Jacobs says advanced air mobility is the future of aviation.
Advanced air mobility, which is a really new golden era of aviation, and it's an electrifying aircraft, which is better for the climate.
Both Tulsa and Oklahoma expect an economic impact within the next 2 to 3 years. Taylor Jackson, The Oklahoma News Report.